Since I know at least two of you watching this video don't know what the Borat voice is, this is what the Borat voice is.
My wife!
Hopefully that clip was short enough that I don't get some sort of copyright strike when I try to upload this video, even though I just took that clip directly from someone else who had uploaded an even longer clip of that movie and somehow didn't get any sort of copyright strike when they did that, which is weird to me. I don't know how that happens, but anytime I've tried anything like that, that's what ends up happening. YouTube, man. I don't get it, and I don't know that anyone gets it. Even YouTube. I don't think they understand what's going on. Anyway, roll the thing. Hey guys, Sean here. So, something happened recently. So this is my old Wi-Fi router. It's a Linksys E2500. And it stopped working, essentially. Like, it was getting really slow, almost non-existent wireless stream capabilities. It just wasn't working right anymore. I probably could have tried resetting it or something, but I don't know. It was time to move on to something better. So I ended up getting this. This is the box. Obviously, this is a Linksys. What is it? AC 1900. It's a gigabit router. You know it's better because it's got actual antenna. It's got so that obviously delivers up to 2 times the speed of non-MU MIMO routers. 2 times. So that's better than 1. It's ideal for 4K. This was just a router that was available at Target. That's why I kind of went with this one. And it had the alarm strapped around it. So you know it's good. Because people would try and steal it if it didn't have the alarm on it. So that's why I ended up going with this. Also, you can control it with your cell phone. And I like things you can control with your cell phone. So I brought it home and started setting it up and getting everything ready. And it was time to make my new wireless network. I was like, I've had the same wireless network name for almost 10 years now, if not more actually, because if I've lived in this apartment for almost 10 years and I've had the same wireless network name since before moving into this, I think I've had it for anyway, I've had the same wireless network name for 10 years. And that was Team Car Ramrod, which is a reference to the movie Super Troopers. Now the funny thing is, it's not even an accurate reference to Super Troopers. I was convinced, let's see, 12 years ago? 11 years ago? Yeah, I was convinced 11 years ago that the line was Team Car Ramrod. It was actually just Car Ramrod. There was no Team Car Ramrod, but I was convinced that's what it was. And I mean, that's not important unless you're a huge fan of Super Troopers and you're like, why is he saying Team Car Ramrod? It's just Car Ramrod. Anyway, I've had that as the name of my Wi-Fi network for a long time now, and I decided to change it. And then since this is a dual band router, so there's a dual band, there's a 2.4 gigahertz band and a 5 gigahertz band. That means that I had 2 separate networks. Now here's the thing about me changing the name of my Wi-Fi network. I didn't stop to think about how many devices I have hooked up to my Wi-Fi network. So on the back of the router, there is actually 4 cable ports that you can plug things directly into it. One of the things that I have plugged directly into it is a switch, or not a Wi-Fi, I guess another router that doesn't have what, basically another box that you can plug more into it. So kind of like a power strip or whatever you want. I can't remember the exact term for it, but I actually have a lot of stuff hardwired to my network because I have I'm a gamer, so I have a whole bunch of consoles, and pretty much all of them are hardwired directly into the network, and my computer is hardwired directly into the network. So I needed extra ports for that. But then everything else in my apartment goes through the Wi-Fi. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, but if I hadn't changed the name and the password for my Wi-Fi network, I don't think I would have had to go through all of the various things and reconnect them to my new network. But since it was technically a new network, I may have had to do that, but I am not 100% sure. Now, I'm like a huge techie person, and when it comes to Wi-Fi connection, it's gotten even worse in recent years. And if we look at the app here, you can see 21 devices are currently hooked up to my network, and that's just the ones that are on currently, because there's also, down at the bottom here, there's 14 offline devices. So what all could I possibly have hooked up to my Wi-Fi network? Well, my phone's hooked up to my Wi-Fi network. My watch is hooked up to my Wi-Fi network. My iPad's hooked up to the Wi-Fi network. This Harmony remote control that I can control my television with my phone in an app or the remote, that's hooked up to my Wi-Fi network. It's PlayStation Vita, that's hooked up to it. All of these Amazon Dash buttons, these are all hooked up to the Wi-Fi network. Amazon Dash buttons, I don't know if you know what they are, but essentially Amazon used to have, they don't sell these anymore, but they're buttons that you can assign a product to them. This one's a Temptations one, and when you run out of the product or you're getting close to running out of the product, you just push the button and it orders it. You have a preset thing, and then you just press it and it orders it. These are cat treats, and so I order these a lot. This is probably the button that I use the most. If I'm not mistaken, they were normally $7, but every now and then they would sell them for $1, and you would get $5 off of your first purchase. So that's why I have so many of them, because I was essentially getting $4 for having them. But they discontinued the program, and I don't think you can actually order them anymore, but they still work. Like, I have one for Glad bags. But yeah, I have 11 of those, although I don't believe they're currently online. I believe those would be considered offline, because they don't actually go online until you press the button. Let's see, what else? I have 3 power outlets that are connected to the Wi-Fi, so that I can turn on and off what is plugged into them using my phone. All 3 of them have lamps plugged into them, so they're lamps that I can turn on and off using my phone. The Elgato key light is hooked up to the Wi-Fi, so that you can change the brightness and the warmth of the light. 2 of my lamps have smart bulbs in them. One of them has 3 smart bulbs in them, and you can change the intensity and color of those lights. All of those bulbs are hooked up to the Wi-Fi. And I have 2 Amazon Echoes, which are also hooked up to the Wi-Fi. And since those 2 Amazon Echoes are hooked up to the Wi-Fi, I can also control pretty much all of those other things that I just talked about using Alexa. I have to be quiet now because she's listening. Okay, she's not listening anymore. So now I can talk again, because I said her name, and so then she was listening to what I was saying, and I didn't want to give her false things. I didn't need her to do anything right now. But like, I can control a lot of things in my apartment with just voice, with just telling her to do it. I can turn on the lamp in my bedroom, and I can... Actually, that one just has a smart bulb in it. Well, no, that just has a light bulb in it. That doesn't have a smart bulb. I can't change the color of that one, but the ones in here, I can change the color of them. And then also, my security system, the Simply Safe, that's hooked up to the Wi-Fi. Nintendo Switch, that's hooked up to the Wi-Fi. I haven't turned on my 3DS since I got the new Wi-Fi, but when I turn that on, I'm going to have to hook it up. And Retreon 5, that is hooked up to the Wi-Fi. Well, no, that's going to have to be. I haven't turned it on either since I got the... So I have to hook up to the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think that's everything, but that is... There is so much stuff that I have hooked up to my network at all times, and that is... I didn't even realize it until I got the new network and I had to go in and redo for all of these different products. But that's the price of living in the future. I love the fact that I can control lights just by telling this fancy robot on my desk to turn them on and off. I can tell her to play a song and she'll play it. I can tell her to arm and disarm the security system on my front door. I live in a really, really crappy apartment, but with all of these fancy gadgets, it makes me feel like I don't. And it's all stuff you can get relatively cheaply on Amazon or at Target. But anyway, yeah, what kind of crazy Wi-Fi enabled technology do you have around where you live? And what do you use it for? And what kind of fancy products do you have that are Wi-Fi enabled? And have you changed your network lately and gone through the same thing where you're like, oh man, I didn't stop to think about how much stuff I actually have hooked up to my network, and I have to go back and reconnect all of it. And yeah, was it a pain? I mean, all said and done, it wasn't really that big of these were a pain to get back on there, because I had to essentially just delete them all and start over from scratch. So, but other than that, that was, yeah. So yeah, all that I just let me know in the comments down below. Do you got anything like what's the coolest thing you have hooked up to your Wi-Fi and makes you feel like you're in the future? Let me know in the comments. And you know, while you're down there, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit on my Patreon. Link is in the description. And with that, have a good however long it is until you watch my next video.